What's happening, guys? My name's God Disciple and welcome to another DCUO video. So guys, Orbit uploaded a video about the changes that we wanted to see in PvP Season 4, and me and Balkan also touched upon this in the latest episode of the Cryocast. What I'll do, guys, is put a link in the description below so you guys can check out those videos as well. But I was asked what I wanted to see in the next season, so I thought I would put my suggestions across as well. So, suggestion number 1 is to do with weapon mastery. Now, personally, I enjoy weapon mastery in PvP, and I do think that it's brought a whole new level to PvP and the mechanics as well. But at the same time, I can also appreciate how people prefer PvP without it. Now, you're not always going to be able to please everyone, but I think I've come up with a way that the devs can do this. Whether it's doable though is another question. Now, what I'm thinking they could introduce is PvP maps where you can queue up with restrictions put in place so that you're not able to do the map if you are spec'd into weapon mastery. Now, we know that they can put these restrictions in place. For example, you've got instances where if your CR is too low or you don't have the progress points, you're not able to queue up for it. And I think we could do the same for PvP. So if you're spec'd into weapon mastery, it will have that red writing underneath it and it says you cannot go into this because you got weapon mastery. I suppose they could call it I don't know, they could call it something like bare bones PvP. Now, other games have been able to do this, for example Call of Duty, and I think this would be a good way that you can please everyone, but like I said, whether it's doable is another question. So that'll be my first suggestion, guys, a PvP map that you can queue up for if you do not want to go in with weapon mastery on. You can go straight into this one's like I said, bare bones PvP, and I think really this way you're keeping both sides happy. So if you've got somebody that wants to do a PvP match with weapon mastery, then cool, you can just go into it as normal. But for those who don't want to do it and want to do a scrimmage without the weapon mastery on there, they've also got the option to do it as well. Now, my second suggestion is to do with the reintroduction of role-based PvP buffs. So, for example, if you remember back, tanks had like an improved confidence when they attack controllers, and with that gained confidence they will be able to cause increased damage. Likewise with controllers over healers and healers over tanks. Now, I fully appreciate why this was removed, as there was nothing worse than queuing up and coming against like a role in a 1v1 which had the confidence over you. But now, with the introduction of armories, I don't think there's any excuse really to complain, because at the end of the day, if you come against the opposite role, then you can just go straight into your armory and you can go straight into DPS. Now, I loved the rock, paper, scissors like mechanics with the role buffs. It sort of gave like a new strategy, or not a new strategy, it gave like an improved strategy to PvP. At the moment, if you're going to go into a scrimmage, it's basically just everybody on one person, which, yeah, at the end of the day, if you're going to cause loads of damage, you're going to get a kill on that person. But the thing I love about DC is the PvP side of things, and with competitive PvP, the thing which is always going to win you a match is strategy and skill. Now, we had it before, and you had the strategy where you could go all against one person, or you had the role buffs as well. So if it wasn't working on one person, you could look at it on a different angle, and I thought that was awesome when it came to it. But like I said before, I completely appreciate why it was taken out. But with armories now, sorry, if you're going into like a 1v1 and the other role has got the buff on you, then you can quite easily go into DPS and smash his head in. So yeah, I would really like to see the role based buffs brought back into the game, and I think with it being removed, it's left a massive gap in the strategy side of PvP, so that would be a good thing for me for it to be put back in. Now guys, my third suggestion would be a new type of PvP map. Now, I'm not talking about like a new arena or a different area to be in when you have a game against someone. I am talking about a new type of game mode. Now, my suggestion would include like a triathlon or a best 2 out of 3 type of game mode where you can group up and have a Friday Night Legends kind of experience. So, for example, you could have like the first match could be a capture and hold map. The second one could be like a death match, and the third one could be a point scoring kind of map, a bit like in Safe House. Now, we've kind of seen something similar with 8v8 HQ matches, like where to start with you have to go in and turn on all the computers, and then on the second one you've then got to put the what is it, like a device or something in an area. So we've had kind of similar with it. But yeah, I think it would be good to have it, but with the old school kind of maps. So, for example, what you could do is you could have like a Star Labs match for the first one, and then the second map could be a Foss map, and the third map could be like the old school Moon, where you'd have to take the rock to one end and score it in the goal. But I appreciate that not to have the full 15-minute type of maps, so like have a shortened length of time, so like 5 minutes each one. And this way it would bring a whole new level to competitive PvP, especially in scrimmages. So instead of just scrimming against a league where you would just have like a 15-minute death match, you could have it as like this, so it's almost like a relay. So it would just sort of make it a lot more smoother, and you could have a lot more bragging rights rather than having to queue individually into different types of maps. And yeah, it would bring like more bragging rights, it would bring more fun, it would bring a new competitive edge to it. Now, this is just like a suggestion, so it might not well be something which is doable, again, like I said before, but for me that would be fun. That would be really good to be like, right, we're going into 3 matches here, all one after another. Let's smash it. Let's have a strategy for this one, a strategy for that one, and then a strategy for the end. Now, I would also like to see more feats introduced for PvP. Now, I know we've got all the bog standard feats that you get when with the PvP side of things, so like knocking out a certain amount of people, dual feats, and then whenever like a DLC comes out, like with when Safe Houses come out, there was loads of PvP feats for that one. I think they could introduce, say, like more feats just around the sort of basic sides of PvP. So I don't know, put like an increased amount of people that you have to knock out, just so that there's a bit more to grind for when it comes to PvP. I hear a lot of people say that there is nothing in PvP, so why should I do it? And that's probably why you find that there is a less amount of competitive PvP players. You get your people that queue up for arenas and will just want to grind the gear, and then once they've got the gear and they've got all the feats, you'll never see them in PvP again. I'm not saying the PvP amount or side of things with DC is bad, but I definitely feel that people have less of a push to want to get into it when you haven't got that competitive edge. If you're a PvE player predominantly, then there isn't very much for you when it comes to PvP if you're not into the scrim scene. So yeah, bring out more feats or bring out more incentives for people to want to do PvP, and I think we'll see a greater balance when it comes between the two. Now, I could go on for hours, guys, with suggestions, but let's not forget the devs have brought some awesome changes in the past that are never really mentioned, and the main reason why they're not mentioned is because they've been really good, and we've all been happy for them, and we haven't had anything negative to say about them. So just remember that side of things, guys, before you start putting too negative comments over to the devs. At the end of the day, it's good to get your suggestions across, so that the devs know exactly what we want. Now, it's not saying that every suggestion that we put forward is going to be good and it's not going to be accepted, because at the end of the day, you've got to make the majority happy. You're not going to be able to please everyone with every update that you make. So the best thing to do, guys, is get your suggestions across to them, and you never know, your suggestion could be one which is gold, and it could be something that nobody's thought about and will help out and will make the experience a lot better for everybody involved. So yeah, let me know in the comments section, guys, what you think of my suggestions, and let me know what you would like to see. Put in the comment section below what you think would be a good suggestion, and like I said before, you never know. You never know. So thanks very much for watching, and please make sure that you like the video and subscribe if you've enjoyed what you've seen. But yeah, take good care, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye bye.